So that's what happens when we start to follow our vision. There is some gift that occurs as we are bringing it into fruition. And again, it's all choice. So I'm not here to say you have vision and you have to get to that vision and it must be like this. But I'm just giving you the fruit of how it happens when you start to commit to your soul, when your soul that nobody else knows except for you, and you follow it. And we all know this. We've all had moments in our life where something wasn't reasonable and we followed it. Okay, so that's what I want to do as an embodiment practice today for you all. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand up. And of course, who knows where you are in your moment today, but if you are in your moment and you have a moment to be just kind of in your body, the first thing you want to do is arrive. So this is the doorway, this body, and we want to begin to let the body and the nervous system know, I'm here. I'm here for your listening. J'ai à l'écoute. I'm here to listen. And of course, at the beginning, that listening is not going to come right away because we're on like go mode, especially if you're just sort of like in the middle of your day, you're kind of like trying to get your SHIT done, right? And the funny thing is, as I was getting my stuff done, I was also letting my body know in preparation for this video, I'm here. I'm still here while I drink my coffee, while I make lunch for my kids. So let your body know you're here. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's enter the doorway of the body through pleasure. So how would your body move? Not the way my body moves, but how would your body move if it wanted to tune into pleasure? How would it move? And again, maybe close your eyes so you don't necessarily think, okay, well, the way Jamie's moving is how pleasure is, but like, how would your body enjoy itself right now? And if you are like, yeah, you're still kind of entering from that mind space, or you're like, I don't know what she's talking about, think of moments of pleasure in your reality, in your life, and like feel it in your body and sway with that feeling. Maybe you was holding your newborn baby grandson, right? Maybe, it's that love making you had last night, or your first lover, right? Maybe it's like that moment where you're in the forest and all you can feel was the trees. Like, what is pleasure for you? And just let your body remember it. So sway with that pleasure. And let the body kind of like let it in. So you start to notice areas in your body that are kind of like rigid. And just start to kind of like, okay, this thing called pleasure, can I kind of let it seep into my body? So one way you can do that is just to kind of get a little bit more circular, right? Because I doubt pleasure feels like this. It could be, I don't know, I could be wrong. But I think there's a certain sensualness, there's a certain circularness, like water, right? So let's just tune into that circular, watery kind of feeling. We can start in the ankles. And if you're like in the middle of doing whatever you're doing, You know, maybe you're in the grocery store or something, I don't know, and you're just kind of like, what is this? You can still find that like liquidy kind of movement. So you start to name to the nervous system, I'm going to kind of let things enter just a little bit differently instead of going on to the automatic pilot. So we go into the ankles, we go into the knees. We exhale through the mouth. We hinge a little bit here and we let the hips sway. And you follow your movement. So I'm going a certain speed, but maybe for you it's like this. Or maybe for you it's like this. Like so you start to kind of feel your way into your body. How is it that you can enter your body now? What is the entry point? What is the speed? What is the motion and the movement? How are your circular movements happening for you today? Yes. And then start to allow yourself. So here it is. Give yourself permission. It's so funny. Like I was walking on the street and there was this mother and she was walking like this, you know, with her kid. And then the kid was walking like this. Because children, they understand the doorway of their body. They understand like, oh my God, you know, the doorway of just creating and feeling that joy and that pleasure, right? So it is a permission to kind of take the identity off of how we should move to what's possible. What's possible for me right now. So we'll continue to go into the ribs. And these kind of points of awareness in the body just kind of help you, like if your mind is taking over too much and you're like, I don't really understand pleasure, you can kind of like utilize points in your body, your skeleton structure that is moving against your fascia to kind of discover, what is this thing she's talking about? What is Jamie talking about here? And then here, we can start to move from, these are the clavicles. So we can imagine those moving in circular motion. And they're connected to the shoulders. Yes, that's it. Good. And then we're going to go into the spine and just let the spine, maybe the spine wants to round. So you tuck your tailbone underneath your middle back and your neck. And maybe it wants to go forward, like a bow and arrow. Round and forward. Okay, round and forward, and get out of like, oh, I'm so bad at this. Just let your body kind of give it a little bit of space.